In today's episode, we're talking to Bonnie Patterson from Body by Bond's Life and Fitness Coaching about all the mindset shifts we need to make in order to pivot and fast track our calling. Welcome to the Clean Slate Experience. Today we are with Bonnie Patterson, life coach and online fitness coach. And we're just going to jump right in because I think right now in this time, people need exactly what you're doing. You know?
That's good to hear.
Right? Why do you say that?
It's how I pay my bills.
Okay. No, beyond that.
Good to hear because people have had a long year to be able to reflect and kind of reevaluate where they're at in life and where they really want to be. And that is my biggest objective when working with people. Where are you at right now versus where do you want to be? And what can we do to get you there?
Yeah. What can we do to get you there? You know, when I was building my business, I had a coach. And to get a coach, you know, you start thinking about your finances. I know that's like the first thing people think. You know, they're like, oh, life coach, oh my God, I bet you're going to be like thousands of dollars. I can't afford you. The question is, can I not afford to have you in my corner? You know? And I remember going into the bedroom to talk to my wife about getting a coach. Of course, it was a business coach for me. And the first thing she asked was, how much is it going to cost, Gerren? I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. That's not how the conversation went in my mind. But can we answer that later? Let me tell you why. And I told her, you know, I want to get to the next level. I want to expand myself a little bit more. And my friends whom I leaned on for encouragement, for advice, for accountability, they were great, but they just weren't enough to get me to the next level. And I told her, listen, if you trust me, I swear to you, this is going to be money well spent because I will work. And I think she said yes because she knew that I would put in the work. So tell me about that. I believe that money is the biggest issue. Tell me about that.
About money being an issue?
To your prospective clients, to your clients when it comes to being a life coach or even a fitness coach.
I think I addressed this on a story like Instagram today or actually yesterday. And actually on the phone just now with a prospective client. And it's that money isn't an issue unless you make it an issue. I'm on my 4th business mentor right now because I'm pretty selective. Like if we start working together and I'm like, this is not a good fit, I'm not beneath let it like, hey, this isn't working. But also I didn't let money stop me. I'm a single mom. I had 2 kids. When I first started, I was waiting tables and I really did not have the money. But like you said, like I knew that I wanted to get to the next level and the people around me were not able to give me that. I can ask people that are at the same level as me, how do we get up? They don't know. And so my future meant more to me than my comfort. And if that meant that I'd have to go without, if that meant that I had to move back home with my mom, if that meant that I'd have to take out a loan, and that's literally what I did to make it happen. So when people say, well, I don't have money for a coach, I'm like, okay, so that means that whatever you wanted me to help you do is not that important to you after all. Because if it was, you'd make a way.
Stop it, because you're hitting me like with body shots. And I believe there are people out there who, Bonnie's probably hitting you with some body shots with that question, you know, because I believe sometimes, I'll be honest with you on this one. Sometimes I don't write down my goal because I know that if I write it down,
you'll have to do it.
It's going to happen. Sometimes, now tell me, have you heard of people who are afraid of like success or afraid of like achieving a goal? It's like you say it in your head.
I was. That's why I had to work with a coach.
Okay. So there you have it. So I said, because probably it was popular, that I wanted to achieve a certain goal.
Right.
But it was because it was popular. I don't know if it's because I really,
really wanted it. Can you say the goal, or is that, no, we're not doing that here? Okay, got it. Keep it moving.
No, I'm just saying. So there may be people out there who are saying what they want to say. You know, they're scrolling through their Instagram pages, they're seeing all these fabulous bodies or people who are walking around with such confidence, right. And they're saying like, I want that. But then they're not willing to put in the work to get that.
That part.
Is that what you're experiencing?
Personally or with clients?
With clients.
All the time.
All of
the time.
So then let's go back to you. Let's go to you when you were like that. How did you shift from being like that to being who you are today? gung-ho?
So I think I'm extremely blessed in that I grew up in a community, or not grew up, I was surrounded by people who were always doing better than me. When I was deep into church, I was, singing and whatnot. All of my friends could sing way better than me, which challenged me to want to work with a vocal coach, to want to sing more, to listen to them and see what they do to get how they are. And I think a lot of people don't realize, again, like the people that you're surrounded by create like your reality and your personality. And if you're around low level achieving people, like your ambition is going to be relatively low.
But they're my friends.
Yeah, they are. I already can't go with you to the top.
Okay, all right, got it.
One of my coaches told me when I used to complain about the things that she'd make me do because I didn't want to do them. I wanted to go drink. I wanted to not do this workout. I wanted to whatever. And she's like, everybody can't be winners, Bonds. And I remember storming out of the gym like, she's not my mom. I was so mad. And then I was like, thank God, like this woman is in my life pushing me to be my best self, or else I'd be settling like everyone else around me. I've seen too many people. I think to answer your question, I've seen what it looks like to not fulfill your goals. I've seen what it looks like in family members to be full of regret and not able to encourage someone else to pursue what they want because you're still butthurt that your dreams didn't come true because you didn't chase them. And the last thing that I would want is to end up like them.
Okay.
And that hit hard. I was like, do I really want to? No.
So that's you taking a step back and looking at the big picture. And not just today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're like, where am I going to be in the next XYZ? And you recognize with the circle that you had, you probably weren't going to get there. No. Yeah. Check this. So when I got my coach and I was, like forking out X amount of dollars, I won't even say how much it was every month. It was tough in the beginning. And then, like you said, if you focus on money, then it becomes a thing. I started focusing on the work that he had me doing. And then I didn't even think about the money anymore. I was just paying the bill or investing in myself. Right? And I was doing the work every day. I'm doing the work. He had me reading like a book a day because he read a book a day, right? I thought it was insane to do it, but then he showed me how to do it. And I
Can you show me how later? Thank you.
We'll talk about that. Yeah. But I started gaining so much knowledge. I didn't know how to apply it yet.
Right.
But like the whole wax on, wax off, I was just going through the motion of gaining the knowledge, and he was going to help me turn it into maturity, into experience, into wisdom. But I kept investing in myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes his coaching would make me cry. Sometimes it would actually make me throw up.
Oh.
Now we're talking, it's a long distance relationship here now. I'm talking to a guy who's sometimes in Utah, sometimes in Hawaii. We didn't meet until like 4 years in, but his coaching would make me literally physically throw up because he was pushing me so hard, and I kept investing because I saw myself doing something that I never thought I would be able to do on my own. Sometimes it felt lonely because, and it does feel lonely sometimes, when you're isolating yourself and you're doing something that your peers aren't doing. It's like, who do you talk to when you want to celebrate a win? Somebody that, you're looking for that partner, someone that you know to be able to celebrate it with you, but like they don't get it though. They didn't see you when you were in the grind. So I think people sometimes are afraid of what it may be like on the other end. Now you looked at it and you said, like, I want that lifestyle. I want that life. I want that end result. How do you help people through who are thinking like, I'm going to lose my friends in the meantime? I have a coach. That's kind of transactional, but my friends, like, they're my friends. How do you help them?
So I create a community, and I think that community is one of the biggest aspects, one of the greatest things that you can have when you're on a path of personal development. Speaking from like our experience, like with entrepreneurs and whatnot, it is lonely. 2020, I've lost more friends, and they are steadily dropping off by the day because there's something in them that they're not willing to address, and they see me living out my truth, and it rubs them the wrong way. There's friction. So in regard to that, I try to create a community for people. because I know what that's like. I know what it's like to lose friends. I know what it's like to have a victory that you want to celebrate. Like, yeah, I just lost 20 pounds, but all of your friends are still out drinking every single night, getting Zinger Mountain Melts after work. Right. And like that is so far from them. And they think you now think that you're better than them. They think that you think you're better than them because you are choosing to make yourself better. Yeah. And that can be pretty defeating. So community is definitely a big thing. Whether that's, I don't know how coaches do it without a community. I'm going to be honest, because if all they have, like you said, if all you have is your coach, cool, but you do need people who can understand the ups and downs. I'm in a mentorship right now with a business coach, and there's 600 other online coaches on there, and every single day we're posting our wins, we're posting our failures. I go live and do my daily affirmations with people, because I'm like, I know that these are things that they need to hear too. I'm seeing people reach numbers that are laughable. Like this time last year would have been laughable for me. I'm like, people can make that much money? And it's super inspiring. Like, you need that. Yeah. You need that. Everyone does. You know, I love what you're saying there. Before I had that community of people that I could lean on or share wins and successes with, I had books. It's kind of like books for my friends. You know, I know, yeah, it is cute. You know, I would go into offices, I would see like books on their desk. And I'm like, yo, so they're reading that book too? I go grab it, pull it up, and I start filling my mind with stuff to help me to understand what it takes to be on that level. And then I started because my, the things that I would say or the kind of my mindset, I started attracting just a different type of crowd. Yep. That was cool. And it's like, you're going through that experience, you're seeing like things are changing around you. The people that you're associating with, that's changing too. And it's like you know what, let me just put it out there. Okay, so I am a guy, I love people. Yeah. Okay, and you kept hearing me going back to that whole thing, like I miss my friends. Because even though I am moving in the direction or the trajectory that I'm moving right now, there's still times where I'm like, damn, I miss my friends, And it's like somebody has to be I won't say the leader, but someone has to like drive their own boat, and I'm driving mine. Yeah. And sometimes it gets lonely. I literally will seek out people, like-minded people. I was telling someone the other day, I was telling my son this. I was like, if you're searching for it, you will find it. Mm-hmm. If you are looking for problems in people, you'll find them. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for goodness in people, you'll find them. Yeah. If you are looking for like-minded individuals, whether you are religious or spiritual, like the universe, God will be like, oh, they're ready now. Okay. Here. Couldn't send you these people before because you weren't on their ready. Level. You weren't ready. Mm-hmm. And it's just been amazing how one of the things as an online coach, I have to expand my I can't even think right now. Network. I have to expand my network daily. Yeah. And I'm adding people, and it's not always because I'm looking for clients. I'm just literally trying to find like-minded individuals. And it is amazing how many females that respond positively to, hey, nice to meet you. I'm just looking for like-minded women or other women that are entrepreneurs or other women, mompreneurs, whatever. And they're like, hey, girl, yeah. And they share your stuff. And it's like, this time last year, that would have been terrifying to think about. I would have been scared to just friend request people and be like, hey, I'm looking for friends that are like me. That's weird. But now it's not. So what happened? Talk to me about what happened. How did you get there? Because there are people out there, I'm sure there are people out there listening, sitting at their desk, driving their cars, running. They're thinking about like, well, how does she do that though? Because I think I want to do that, but I don't have the courage, Every day, not every day. Yeah. Every day you have to do something that makes you grow. Mm-hmm. Just try to be 1% better every single day. Yeah. And it got to the point where I realized that there are certain things that I'm not doing because they're uncomfortable. And like I said earlier, like, is my comfort more important than my future? And that's pretty much what I apply to anything that's hard. Yeah. One of my first business mentors gave me an assignment. It was a comfort crushing challenge. And up until that point, all of these comfort crushing challenges were like a walk in the park. They're like, oh, hop on your Facebook and go live. I'm like, I do that every day. So they were all lives. So I was like, I've got this. And then there was the one that was like, go up and ask 20 people, 20 strangers that you don't know for $5 and do not tell them why, and don't try to make it not awkward. Just ask them for money. and this is for sales training because I hated sales.
Okay.
It was, and he said, you can't go on in the lessons until you do this.
Okay.
So that was like week 4. And it was like, I was now on like week 8 and I couldn't continue in the lessons because I would not do it.
You wouldn't do it, yeah.
And then finally I was like, you spent how much money to work with this person? They gave you this assignment to do. This is going to help your business and you don't want to do it. Like, are you happy working 2 jobs? Are you happy not sleeping? Are you happy that you don't get to live with your kids anymore because you couldn't afford to because you want to build this business? How long are you going to stay like this?
Right.
You have to get super real with yourself.
Right.
I think too often we celebrate or we romanticize what's going to happen when I reach my goal. So if it's a fitness goal, I'm going to be so cute in my bathing suit and a cruise, or I'm going to get the man of my dreams, or I'm going to get all the girls. Like, we romanticize what's going to happen if we actually show up for ourselves. But more often, we need to think about what's going to happen if you don't. And at the point of my life where I was at, I had me and my kids and I, we lived in our own place for 10 years. I was doing well for myself, went to school, college, like was killing myself to make sure that my kids had a comfortable life. But when I was ready to run my own business and I was tired of being an employee, I decided to move back home.
Yeah.
And I let my kids go with their father so that they wouldn't have to be in an uncomfortable and like a crammed environment. And it hurt. I would cry. I was like, I hope my kids understand that I'm doing this for us.
Yep.
And the fact that I couldn't go ask 20 strangers for $5, I'm like, girl,
stop it.
How much longer do you want to be serving tables, working in the gym, taking clients online, like not sleeping, killing yourself? If this is what it's going to take to get me to the next level, then do it because you feel better when you do.
Right.
There's nothing that is like the things that we want to avoid doing always feel better. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm tired. But who leaves the gym like, oh my God, I'm so mad I went to the gym today? Nobody. So I looked at it like that. I was like, if I know that this is going to better me, this is going to get me where I need to be, how much longer am I willing to be unhappy?
Yeah. About the whole money request thing. So a buddy of mine, his birthday was most recently, and this is a buddy of mine from back in college. We keep in contact on social media casually. But he put it out there. He was just like, hey, today's my birthday. Here's my Cash App. You guys know what to do. And
when people do that, I cringe. I don't know why.
So guess what I did? So that day, yesterday, I was just like, you know what? $25.
Aww.
Kick it over to him, right?
Oh, my birthday's in 2 days.
Hey,
Sorry,
stop it. Because I know this is going to get me in trouble. He responded saying like, yo, thanks, bro, or what have you. And I was wondering, like, was he just playing? Like, did he expect somebody to submit money? And I did it for him because I've been watching him taking care of he's a single dad too. And I've been watching him taking care of his daughter and son and the fun that they have together and so forth, at least what he posts.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I think back to college days and I'm proud of him. So it's like, he asked like, So going to that, how much was it? $5?
Just $5. But I had to ask 20 people.
Right. And that, you probably spent more money in coaching for that period of time, okay?
Probably.
So that tells me that sometimes there's such small things that's gripping people so much for them to make that next step.
For me, it was no. So for people that aren't into like sales and entrepreneurship, it was rejection. I guess you could look at it that way.
Okay.
Knowing that I couldn't take hearing no, I associated the rejection. I took it personally versus they don't want to give you money. Not they don't want to give you money. They. And I had to learn to separate the results from me. And even as a coach, I have to do that. When someone doesn't get the results that they pay me to get, I used to beat myself up like I'm a horrible coach. Who do I think I am? Why am I even doing this?
Right.
And then I had to realize, I'm like, Bonnie, did it work with so-and-so? Yeah. Did it work with you? This is not a you problem. This is a they problem. Stop taking everything so personally.
Absolutely. I had some people in my past who I have coached also. So intrinsically, teacher, coach, mentor, that's kind of like who I am.
Yes.
I just so happen to have XYZ businesses, right? But I have worked with people. Sometimes I have cared more than they did.
Yeah.
And I would bring such energy to the conversation that sometimes you're like, yo, gee, like, yo, like, chill out, man. Why you care so much?
I'm so sorry I care about you.
So that's how I felt in the beginning. And then I realized, like, Gerren, you got to work with people who want to work. You
have to be selective.
Yeah.
Had to learn that the hard way.
And I lost some friends that way because I was pushing so much. I wanted to see them succeed.
Yeah.
I wanted to celebrate.
Yeah.
And then there were people who their learning curve was so long because they just wouldn't put in the work. And I stayed consistent.
That part, the learning curve was so long.
Go, say it. Come on.
Oh no, that's just me.
No, but it's real though, man. So you know, this whole thing about like self-improvement, whether it's personal or professional, it requires you to bring something to the table. You can't just like look at it online and think like it's easy to have or attain. And it hurts. Sometimes it hurts. You talked about moving back home, and that's something that Gary Vee always talks about. Like, yo, cut that rent, whatever, get back in.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that planted that seed, because the idea, I was supposed to buy a house.
Yeah.
And then it came down to, do you want to buy a house and like flex on the internet in front of all your friends? Oh, my single mom self, I finally got a home. Because that's what the motivation was. It was, I want a home, cool. But it was more so everyone could see that I was successful right now.
So that was an ego thing?
It was definitely an ego thing. And then I looked at my business and I remembered my calling, and I remember how I wanted to teach and reach and coach people and help make their lives better. And I was like, if I get this house, I will be stuck waiting tables and or working at the gym from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. Won't see my kids for what? So that people can see this house. And I'm so glad I didn't, because COVID happened right after that.
Right.
And I looked and I'm like, God, I'm so glad I decided, nope, I'm moving back home. And everything worked out the way that it needed to. But boy, looky here.
Right? I love the whole idea of like slow down to speed up.
Yes.
That's why I talk about this whole fast track your calling thing, man. Some people think like, oh, I got to just quit my job and just, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go out there and just start my business. Like, slow down.
You can prepare.
Exactly. Prepare.
Like take action. Yes. Be decisive, but also be wise and plan. Deciding to plan is also a decision too.
Bonnie, listen, man, this is the one thing I tell people. I quit my job to become a janitor, right? People look at me like, oh, what the hell are you thinking, dude?
Yeah.
But when you have that foresight, the vision, you're looking down the road and you're like, I want to have a better life for my family. Yeah, I'm gonna quit the show. I'm gonna do it. I remember one time going to a party with some friends. They still live here in the Orlando area, and there's like a lot of ladies and then some guys that were there, and you could see like everybody was trying to flex like, this is my position now, I'm a lawyer, and it's like I'm in the back of the room, and they're having this conversation up front, and I leaned forward and I said, hey, so what if your husband or your man was like a sanitation worker? Oh, hell no, please, my husband could never be this, da da da. And I kind of just like went back into the back of the room, like, and I just watched it. I was planting the seed just to see how people would respond. And they were just like dogging the whole situation. Several years later, they see me, a couple of them see me, and they see me with my shirt on. Oh, your clean slate shirt. Oh, Gerren, you still doing that? Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, we should sit down and talk sometime.
I'm like,
not even interested. Yeah. I don't even want to talk.
I've seen your character.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't even a situation like trying to date or anything like that. We're just talking because I was married, but we're talking about like they just wanted to sit down and talk and find out about me. And then, some of them were into like financial invest. You see what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden I'm like, come on, man. When I posed the question, you guys dogged it.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at the position, you're not looking at the big picture.
Yes.
Like, why did you do that? When I found out that you had a business, and I found out that you were a Toastmaster, you saw how I responded, like immediately. I was just like, yo, let's do this.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because immediately, it's like the framework behind the scenes I knew had to be what you're telling me today. And then when you friend request me and I was able to like check out some of your videos and stuff, I'm like, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah. I shared it with you to say that you're consistent.
You have to be.
Tell me about that.
You can't. So, like the analogies, or not even analogies, just when it comes to reaping and sowing and harvesting, like you have to plant seeds in certain seasons because you're not always going to be able to reap the harvest. So if I stop planting seeds for one day, that's one less person who may not find out about me. That's one less life that I may not be able to impact.
Yeah.
read or heard, I don't know, I've had so many coaches. They said it takes about 11 or 12 different posts for someone to relate and connect with me before they'll want to invest with me. 11 or 12. And then when you add in the fact that not everybody's online every day, that people are on at different times, that the algorithms are always changing. There's so many reasons why. And so I have to be present. Not everyone's going to read my long captions, so I have to make short ones for people. Not everyone's going to watch my live videos, so I have to make ones that aren't live that have captions in it. Or some people just watch stories all day long, so then I've got to make stories. And some people are into TikTok, so I have to have TikTok. I have to be so loud that I can't be ignored because I'm not settling for less.
She's giving me body shots. and I'll say this because I got a buddy of mine who has been sending me consistent posts on Instagram saying like, yo, did you see what Bonnie just said? Or did you see what this person said? You have to post every single day, Gerren. You have to do it like several times a day. How do you manage that? Now, granted, I don't know where you are as far as in the grand scheme of your business, meaning like first year in or you know, like, or first quarter, third quarter, what have you. How are you managing it now? And how are you thinking forward about how you're going to be able to manage that as your business begins to grow?
Okay. So one of the things that I learned was to document, not create. And I was creating a lot of social media content.
Stop. She punched me in the stomach. Damn. First, she took me back to my coach who told me the same thing. Before I wrote this book, he was like, Gerren, document, do not create. And you're using this word, so it's like, it's nostalgic, the feeling. But then it's like, oh,
that's like
so
alignment.
Right.
That lets me know I'm in the right place then. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're killing it. Go. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So I would take hours to come up with this crazy caption, and then I didn't know about the apps where you could space it out so it would all be all like conjumbled, and then I would just get so freaked out about it, and that would take so long, and it was terrible. And I would spend all of my days, especially during quarantine, like the majority of my day was content creation, and I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
And then I started to learn how to get more efficient.
Okay.
One, I started off doing a content calendar, not those ones where people are like, oh, I know what I'm posting 30 days out. That's crazy. People need to be like that. For big companies that need to stay relevant and seen, sure. Right. For someone that is personal, people want to work with me because of me. So they want to see what I'm doing. They want to see my struggles. They want to hear what I'm going through.
Why are you here? Why did I invite her? Oh, where's my phone? Somebody get my phone and come and like, what you said I got to do? I got to
document,
not create.
Yep.
Can I?
You document this. I was going to say, can you get a?
Documenting this right now.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
There's
done.
proof.
All right. Chop it up.
So I would decide what I'm going to do each day. And since I am a fitness and life coach, Mondays are usually like a call to action, like, hey, so you ate too much this weekend, or hey, you're feeling bad, like Sunday Funday went too hard, whatever.
What's his name? Bonnie Body Shot.
Body Shots by Bonds. Body by Bonds. No. And Tuesdays, like I would plan them. Tuesdays will be like Nutrition Tip Tuesday, or like today was Tough Love Tuesday. Yeah. Wednesday will be workouts. Thursday will be whatever. And doing that helped me a lot. But now I'm at the point where I don't really rely on that because it's become more, it becomes more natural. But what I do now is I have a thing called Power Hour every morning. There's a 10 before 10 that has to get done. And one of it is getting your social media posts out. And sometimes I'll batch content.
Okay.
Like 100%. I go get pictures done and I'll write out my captions ahead of time. And sometimes though, because there's days where you're just not feeling it. Like there are days where you're like, I hate my life and I hate everything. Why am I doing this?
Right.
And so then I'm like, well, good thing I have that post ready to go. Boom, boom, boom.
Documented, yeah.
Yeah, like it's good to go. But definitely batching content and being intentional makes it a lot easier. If you're just sitting down to write content and you're like, I'm writing this so that I can get a sale, or I'm writing this so that blah, blah, blah. When you're intentional, like I'm writing this so that it can change someone's life. I'm writing this so that when someone reads it, they're going to be like, oh,
are you hearing this?
Dang, man, she's talking to me.
Right.
And it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
That makes it, because it's natural, it's authentic. It's not one
salesy.
of these like,
it's not like
these packaged captions, these generic things.
Yeah.
Those are so annoying.
Yeah, and I think people see through that.
Yes.
You know, they see like I saw some live, and you probably remember it. You were going into work or going into the gym in the morning, and you were supposed to get on there for like just a couple minutes to vent about something, but you vented the entire ride, and then you got out the car, and you walked to the front door, I guess, and then you vented there for a while. I don't know if it was someone, like something while you were driving or something, but the fact that you can't remember it means that you vent a lot.
Oh, yeah. I hop on lives. Like my problem is I have too much stuff going on in here. So I literally will take my phone into the shower because that's where all of the, like when the wheel's really turning, and I'll put the voice memo on and just let it go, because I'll get out of the shower with 30 ideas and I'm like, do you remember one of them, Bonnie? No. So I have to either have the voice memos ready to go for content, or I will have in my notes in my iPhone, like TikTok ideas, Instagram, long posts, short posts, stuff like that.
Okay,
something to keep it organized, because if not, like I'll get super frustrated because I have all these ideas that I don't ever do.
No, this is good. This is good for me, man, because a couple things. So I was talking to my wife about this just last week. 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, my body awakens and I am like, my brain is on fire.
You're sharp.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes you hear people say like, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get my day started, and the early bird catches the worm or whatever it is.
You're up at 1.
Right? So if my dog gets up and he's like, I want to go out and pee, and I take him out and bring him back in, like, oops, I'm up. I used to try to force myself back to sleep. I started saying, no, Gerren, because as you get, as things change for you, right, you're going to have to start managing your energy if you're not even doing it already. I'm recognizing that, like, I have to manage my energy. So before I would go to sleep, Gerren, because you have a busy day tomorrow. Now it's like, no, get up, document, go. I'll be going at it. 3 until 6. Then I'll go in and catch a quick nap before the kids get up. I've done so much friggin' work, oh my God, in those 3 hours, that if I did not do that and I started the day at 7, I'm already behind.
No, that's so real. Yeah. I used to think, I'm at 5 o'clock now, but I am probably going to push it to 4:30 because I realized, well, one, I'm not in my 20s anymore. So pulling all-nighters to get work done, that's not a thing. Like my brain shuts off around 8 or 9, and I can try if I will, but like nothing gets done. Happening, Like I was trying to write someone's workout plan last night, and I know I'm looking at it on a piece of paper and putting it into the computer. My brain is like, just close it. Just close the laptop.
Yeah, just shut it down.
And then I woke up this morning at 5, did my morning routine, picked up the laptop and had her, like 3 days worth of workouts done for her in 10 minutes. And I'm like, I know that I work better in the morning. You see? I know that.
Yeah.
So I don't
go with the flow.
Just go with it. Like I'm realizing, like I don't mind waking up early.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Like that is the most creative time of the day, and that's why I have to have that hour where I'm doing content creation in the morning. Because if I try to make any sort of content like 5, 6, it's too busy. It's like, oh, what are we having for dinner? The dogs. This. Oh, I got to go to basketball practice. Like I don't have to. Nothing's getting done in that time.
And you were talking about that, and I said, I got to take that from her because sometimes I find myself in that same situation where I have thoughts flowing, and it's like, this will be a good post. And then what happens is I just kind of like think about it, but then let it go. And then I can't think about
and then
how
you can't remember what it was. That's so frustrating.
I can't even put like a video to it. Like it would have been so cool in my head.
Videos. I also do that. I'll put my phone up. I have the thingy on
on your dash?
On the dashboard, because obviously that's where I talk a lot. Yeah. I'm like, someone has to hear this.
Who's judging you?
But a lot of my friends are like, I can't believe you're talking while you're driving. I'm like, do you talk to your kids in the car when they drive?
Same thing, right?
I'm like, it's the same thing. Yeah, but people get really funny about it. I don't care.
This is freaking awesome, man. Like I love it. 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 Fast track your calling, and you see it here in like person, like how you just like, did it. She's going with the Gary V, and I know a lot of you out there listen to Gary V. Yes, he curses a lot, and you didn't hear any from Bonnie today, but you jump online, you'll hear something, bombs all day long. But look past that and look at what she's doing and what she can do for you. Listen, I know a lot of you out there are thinking about life coaches. You're thinking about getting your fitness coach on and so forth. And it's like, you're worrying about the wrong thing if you're worrying about money. And I'm not disrespecting the fact that things are tight now. But think about your goals. If 5 years go by and we were in this kind of rut for 5 years, if you didn't jump on this whole train of like finding a Bonnie to work with to get you to your goals, you're 5 years behind. You just heard us talking about if we don't get up in the morning when we're moving with our body and how our energy moves, if we don't get up and document and we start the day as we typically would, we're already behind. So like go with what you're feeling. If you are ready to achieve your goals now, and I kind of pause on that one because sometimes people aren't ready.
They're not.
You know
literally addressed that this morning as well.
You see?
It was about priorities. Like, time is one of the things, like, if people say that they don't have money for me, or if they do, their next thing is I don't have time. And I have worked with multiple people who are running their own business while working full time, and they just don't have time to commit to the workouts. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And I said, sweetheart, you're talking to someone that literally slept on 3, not saying that anyone should do this,
right,
but there was a period where I didn't have time, but I made it.
Yeah.
I figured it out because it was that important to me. And so it's okay to not be in a season where your fitness or your long-term goals aren't important to you. And I think a lot of people have a hard time coming to terms with that. They see everyone else doing this, doing that, like comparing to other people. Well, they're doing this, so I have to do this. And you don't have to do anything. Why don't you take care of what's most important right now? Because once you do that, then you'll be able to make space for the other things. Priorities. Prioritize what needs to get done right now. Make sure that gets done. Get proficient in that, get in your flow, and then you can start adding things like going to the gym or meal prepping or whatever it is. It's not for everyone in every season, and that's okay too.
I got my meal prep in my bag right
Look at
now.
you. I did not meal prep this week. I usually meal prep every week.
It.
Actually, I meal prep, but not strategically. I made a whole bunch of chicken on the grill last night that's ready to go.
She just left a really good point now. She's killing it. She's like, I didn't meal prep. But you know what? She's speaking to the truth of it. There are people like you out there right now who didn't meal prep, but you can. It's like, just start. Just friggin' start. Don't say like, oh, I want to go to the party. The party this weekend is going to have drinking and stuff. I just want to do that and then I'm going to start. Start today. Maybe when you get to the party, you might be like, you know what? I'll take water. I'm good, because it's important to you. Ultimately, everything that Bonnie's talking about, that I'm talking about today, is like, we need to start focusing on the things that are important to us. And if excuses is important to you, then you're going to make excuses. You know what I mean? So focus on the goal, man. Focus on the goal, where you want to go. Here at the Clean Slate Experience, we're always talking about how you can pivot and fast track, get to your goal quickly. Sometimes it requires you slowing down to speed up. You got to be patient with yourself. A lot of people out there right now are feeling as though like, I have to be where I need to be because I'm 22 and I need to be retired by 27. The journey, like everything is in the journey. And the journey is where you gain a lot of wisdom and maturity that you can now pass that information on to people. When you get to that destination so quickly, you're going to realize it really wasn't what you expected. And all of a sudden, like, you're setting another goal. Are you going to pay attention to the journey or not? Because that's where everything is. This is Gerren Sprauve of the Clean Slate Experience, man. Hanging out with Bonnie Patterson of, tell me the name of the business?
Body by Bonds.
Body by Bonds. And she'll give you some body shots, not just with her words, but when you get into that fitness routine with her. She's awesome. We're going to get my producer to get in with Body. No? Okay. He said no. But listen, man, thank you. Thank you very much, Bonnie, for coming out today.
Thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
This has been great. And I think I want to do this again.
Yes.
Because there's so much more.
Oh,
You know, we didn't really touch enough on the life coach aspect of things, but there's so much more. And I'm watching your story. I might be dropping some F-bombs. Never. Okay. I'm going to be, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me as you're doing you. Yeah. Keeping it clean. But listen, man, thank you again for coming out. For everyone who's out there, join us wherever podcasts are being played, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Google, wherever. We're here, the Clean Slate Experience, hanging out with Bonnie Patterson.
Thank you so much.
All right, girl. Take care.